Is to play. Robert Gunn to boot it away. Barian Brown, new arrival from Kentucky, who took a kickoff back against Clemson in a bowl game once, will not bring this out. So Caden Durham is the featured back. He's a tackle breaker, and right on cue, he does shed a tackle. Durham has got the edge. He's tough to bring down, and on the first play, they ripped him going. There's an easy pitch and catch to Bauer Sharp, another newcomer. He was with the Sooners a year ago.
Yeah, here's my impact players. Braylon Moore, a center. I love to get the linemen in when I can. The transfer from Virginia Tech. 4 new offensive linemen. He's in the middle calling all the offensive calls. Caden Durham, you already saw. Peter Woods, the big All-American in the middle, number 11, lost 30 pounds for this year. Looks great, and Wade Woodaz is really the heart and soul of this defense in the middle. Almost came up with that tackle on the first play and let him slip away, number 17.
On 2nd and 6. Nussmeier looking to throw, flips it to Durham in the flat. He's got a little crease, and he darts ahead for a first down inside the Clemson 40. Woodaz made the stop after an 8-yard gain.
You and I had called the South Carolina game between LSU over in Columbia early last year, and they were trying to find a back. It was running back by committee. And after that game, the young freshman kind of took over. He almost had 100 yards and a couple touchdowns. He is terrific, and I think they feel that much better about what he can do this season in the backfield, helping this run game and balance this offense out.
Minute and a half in, already the decibel levels dropped just a little bit. Bayou Bengals handling this atmosphere beautifully, and now a looping downfield shot. Hand fighting on the edge. It's incomplete. It was Fredez Green, the talented tight end. Big shoes to fill. With Mason moving on.
Well, they love him, and they warned us. It's 6'7". They're going to flex him out and try to give him opportunities one-on-one. He's 6'7". Barnes is 6 feet. That's a matchup they want on that. He was in the slot. They throw the fade. Pretty good coverage there by the veteran Barnes, but you'll see more of that with a 2 tight end look with Green and Bauer Sharp. Look at the size of this guy. He's 6'7". And they like to flex him out. Had the 2 touchdowns in the bowl game against Baylor.
And the ball out from Caleb Jackson, trapped behind the line. As coming downhill in a hurry to make the play was Jaheim Lawson off the edge.
He plays hard, very, very twitchy. They feel he can be an impact player for him. He's got his hand down. Nobody picks him up. He just closes down with that speed. Good job there, using his twitch and his quickness. Get downhill.
So 3rd and 11, and the noise is back.
Remember, 4 new offensive linemen, a couple transfer portals. You practice it. Garrett's going to call a timeout.
Had plenty of time on the play clock, Kirk, but didn't like the look there. You can pump noise through the speakers. You can't simulate this. We'll step aside. LSU on the move early, but facing 3rd and long when you come back.
Yeah, this is an LSU team last year that had a veteran offensive line. Look at Will Campbell, Emory Jones on the outside. Look at the number of starts. Miles Frazier with 51. You lose 4 of those guys to the NFL. DJ Chester's been beat out. And now you've got 2 transfer portals. You got 4 new offensive linemen. And you got a 3rd and 11 here in this environment.
See if Tom Allen dials up some pressure. No, they're going to run the ball, and going nowhere. TJ Parker made the stop on Durham. Interesting call on 3rd and 11, perhaps fearing that pass rush.
Yeah, and you just wonder with that play call, especially with a veteran quarterback. We talked about the offensive line not wanting maybe a negative play, but super conservative here. Maybe if you hit it for 6 or 7, you're in that kind of in that area where you go for it. But him getting shut down with that play by Parker, they're going to punt it away and play field position.
Parker just explosive, the top-rated edge rusher. Most early draft boards. Grant Chadwick to boot it away. Antonio Williams, tremendous receiver for Clemson back, and that bounces into the end zone for a touchback.
That's frustrating after 3rd down run, and you got a chance to pin them, and instead special teams lets you down with the touchback.
Cade Klubnik, tremendous year, went back to his hometown of Austin, Texas, and Clemson Tigers battled. They were the only road team that really showed up in one of those first-round playoff games, and number 3 rated prospect overall.
Think of that.
Coming a long way to go.
A winner. You know, you're in the big division in Texas at Westlake, and you in Austin, and you win 3 state championships as a starting quarterback. The MVP of the Elite 11. I mean, a lot of expectations. Last year, he started to live up to them. He's very excited about what he can do this year.
From the pocket, ball batted and falls to the ground. There's the impact players when Clemson's got the football.
That was a heck of a play there up front. That was Patrick Payton. Antonio Williams, number 0. He's their go-to receiver. They do not return a running back. They move Adam Randall, receiver, to running back. Keep an eye on number 9. They'll use a lot of different backs. Whip Weeks, boy, so much fun to watch. 40. And then a transfer from Virginia Tech, Mansour Delane, who had a lot of starts at Virginia Tech, brings a lot of experience.
There's Randall right into the teeth of this LSU defense, which really struggled last year. Year 2 for Blake Baker, who came over from Missouri but couldn't run the system he wanted to. Not enough depth or experience last year. They think they've fixed both.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, if you watch their pressure, they really were fairly vanilla, and that's not like him. He got the job because of what he did at Missouri the year before. His entire career, he's been super multiple on 3rd downs. Gets a chance here to crank it up, see what he does.
Now Klepnik facing 3rd and 8. They do bring pressure on the run. He'll be sacked. The pressure gets home. P.J. Woodland off the corner makes the play, and Clemson goes 3 and out.
Well, here's exactly what we're talking about. We just said if he can get you now to 3rd down, he's got the ability and the confidence to be able to bring the pressure. He brings the corner from the boundary. Great timing. They do not pick it up. And that's what I think LSU fans can get excited about this year, because they're better up front, better on the back end. He's willing to take some chances, and Woodland makes it big time play there for LSU.
It was a punter competition at Clemson. Nip and tuck, Dabo said. Jack Smith won the starting job. He boots it to Xavier Thomas, who makes a fair catch. There's a flag down near the line of scrimmage. We'll check that. Already we've seen offensive lines having their hands full, and that's going to certainly affect the play calling, how aggressive you want to be.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 26. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down, LSU.
So 43-yard punt, and that penalty will move them back. They would have had the ball near midfield. Possession 2 for Garrett Nussmeier and the LSU of offense. Coming up.
Capital One cardholders can redeem their credit card rewards for tickets to exclusive events and experiences on Capital One Entertainment. Scan the code to learn more. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Tom Allen coached a very salty, very good Penn State defense a year ago. Wasn't looking to leave. But Dabo Swinney get a very convincing pitch to him. He's also got family down in this area and makes the move.
Well, he's needed. They needed some juice. These last 3 years have just not been the same defense as far as the energy. Last year, their run defense was not very good. They gave up a lot of explosives because they weren't great in their run fits. So he's needed, not just because of a good coach, but this Clemson defense has got to get better.
Off the play fake, Nussmeier, shovel pass underneath to Jawan Johnson. He's a versatile back. They'll use him in a variety of ways. They'll rotate 3 or 4 guys in tonight, but a short game. Garrett Nussmeier, of course, got to LSU before Brian Kelly did. Kelly brought in Jaden Daniels, and he backed up the Heisman Trophy winner for a couple of years. 2nd year as a starter. Looking to build off last year's productivity. 2nd and 7, play fake. Bauer Sharp's got his 2nd catch. The ball comes loose. Clemson scoops it up, and taking it back the other way is Ricardo Jones, who recovered the fumble by the tight end. Avion Terrell knocked it loose.
Boy, this play started out as a great read by Garrett Nussmeier, because the defensive back drops. Watch his head see that. Sees it. Okay, get it out quickly. And then boom, Bauer, I think, surprised with that corner. Terrell closing as quickly as he did, and Jones is there to pick it up. So it's the run. Let's see if the knee is down. Well, that ball is starting to come out. So it looks like that's a fumble before the knee touched. They'll probably take a peek at that one.
Bill Lamagnier, rules expert. This is close, Bill. How do you see it?
This one's made for replay. They have to determine, is he still got firm control of the football when that knee touches the ground?
If it starts to move in his arm like that, is that not considered firm control?
If it starts to move in his arm, it's not firm control.
It looked like that was happening.
It looked like movement there.
Sharp is a key piece of this offense, they think. He's the guy that led the Sooners in receiving a year ago at that tight end position. Turnovers. Boy, were they a problem for LSU last year, Kirk. They were -3. They determined to clean that up.
And let's not overlook the job by Terrell, who's known as a cover guy. And I mean, he hits him, and he
Ruling on the
shows his...
field is a catch and a fumble was covered by the defense. The previous play is under video review.
It's an SEC crew, and Gotro just now saying it's going to replay.
Just quick on that thought. Just Terrell's known as a cover guy. He collapsed down in a hurry, surprise Bauer. That's what causes the fumble. I love to see corners willing to get in there and mix it up. I think everybody, including you and I. Bill, you good with you think fumble?
You know, one of the things they got to look at, too, is did he have control and possession of the football? Did he have it long enough? Because it's just coming into his hands. He's getting hit and going down.
Take a look. What do you think?
In other words, it could be ruled incomplete on replay.
That's a possibility here, too, for replay.
A couple different things to look at.
Well, Billy, what do you think here, kid? We're putting you on the hot spot right out of the gate here, week 1, first quarter.
I know you are, but I got him down and before he fumbles the ball.
Down?
If it's a catch.
Okay.
After video
I've got the knee down.
review, the call on the field is upheld.
So it is a catch. It is a fumble. And Clemson's going to be set up at the LSU 24-yard line.
You know, and that, let's talk about Tom Allen. Simplified the scheme, attacking mentality, get this defense to play fast, stressing tackling and effort, takeaways. I mean, these are the pillars of his defenses no matter where he's been. And you can see his reaction to the play by Terrell and the pick up for the scoop there by Jones. And they put Cade Klubnik and company in great field position.
See if this Clemson offense can cash this in. Antonio Williams, the receiver, is lined up in the backfield, number 0. Klubnik across the middle tried to find Williams out of the backfield. Harold Perkins, who's changed positions to the star position here. Kirk, versatile, superstar playmaker. They hope they found a home for him in this kind of hybrid position.
Yeah, well, you know, he is a great player, spectacular with his ability to close. You're right. It's been a little bit of musical chairs for him. He exploded on the scene as a freshman with some sacks. Try to move him to the inside. Now they move him back to the outside coming off the ACL. He'll also spy to try to chase down Cade Klubnik on third downs.
Play fake. Protection holds up. Ball launched to the end zone. Jump ball over the head of T.J. Moore. A couple Tiger defenders in the area. Jordan Gilbert, who's in for A.J. Halsey. The starting safety was suspended for the first half because of a fight that he was involved in when he was at Houston last season in the finale against BYU. That's a whole other story. We'll get to that in a second. But Halsey out, and they have trust in Gilbert coming in as a starter.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Yeah, and he'll be back in the second half. That's college football in 2025. By the way, I saw Antonio Williams grab his right hamstring, kind of limped off the field after that last play.
Clemson facing a 3rd and 10. And Randall runs it. So this LSU defense, sudden change, Kirk, goes out there and makes a stop. Clemson doesn't gain a yard. Patrick Payton made the play there.
Yeah, this is, I know it's a conservative call, but Patrick Payton is known as a pass rusher. He's up here. What I love is he's not fooled at all by this run. You know, look at him get off of that double team. Just splits the double team, collapses down, and makes a great play. So both teams on third down in plus territory offensively, electing to go more of a conservative route. Clemson at least has a shot at a field goal in 3 points.
Hero of the ACC championship game, Nolan Hooser booted a 56-yard walk-off field goal to give the Tigers the ACC crown. This is a chip shot from 42, and he just bangs it through. But LSU will take that as a W. As the fumble sets up Clemson, they gain nothing. 3-0 Tigers. Nussmeier and LSU back to work next. Is it possible? It's been 20 years since the devastation of Hurricane Katrina down in Louisiana. More than 1,800 lost their life. Unimaginable psychic damage there. LSU became a lifeline. 6,000 patients came up to Baton Rouge. They sheltered pets, mobilized volunteers, and on this anniversary, Molly, the Bayou Bengals wearing a sticker to commemorate Katrina.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. The LSU Tigers wearing a special sticker on their helmets tonight to remember the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. And this purple rose resembles resilience, hope, and lasting beauty. And Hurricane Katrina affected the trajectory of so many people's lives, including LSU linebacker Harold Perkins, whose family left New Orleans afterwards, and then the pull back home is what brought him to LSU.
Affected the lives of several generations of college football players. Now to the Clemson sideline. Holly, what do you have?
Well, guys, a huge development for the Clemson Tigers. Their most versatile wide receiver, Antonio Williams, limped off the field, grabbing at his right hamstring. He's been in the injury tent. I can see them working on that hamstring. This is a huge deal because he can line up everywhere on the field. He's a big part of the Clemson offensive plan. In his place, I've seen Tyler Brown, the redshirt sophomore, go sit on the bench with the starting wide receivers and start looking at the iPad. He'll have to come in next for Antonio.
It's a good receiving corps, but that's the leader. That's the guy who's been teaching the younger guys.
That's the mentor, as Holly said. That is a significant loss as he heads to the locker room.
Third possession for LSU. Off the fumble last time. They'll hand it off. And once again, penetration. That's Sammy Brown in the backfield, and they stop him for a loss of 2.
Again, if you're a Clemson fan, you know this is what you like to see. Getting downhill. Garrett Nussmeier, interesting here. Just a couple possessions, but throwing the ball to Sharp, throwing the ball to Durham, getting the ball to Juwan Johnson, Green, the big tight end, not getting this group of receivers that LSU coaches were very high on and touting after the transfer portal. Haven't been able to get them the ball just yet.
And now one of those pre-snap penalties.
False start. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's Green, the tight end. We knew these offenses are going to be really challenged with the new pieces up front and the talent of the defense they're facing. LSU going backwards. They have a chance. They got to get something out of this second down play. Nussmeier backpedals, launches. It's Green down the field. They try to get the ball to the big 6'7" tight end. A flag is down. Wayne Wood has defended. They are intent on involving this young tight end tonight.
That's going to be pass interference. Official threw it right where the contact was. Flag came in from near the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference. Defense, number 17. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's a good call. I mean, it's not just the end of the play. It's the pushing that he went on for about 7 or 8 yards. He took away the boundary or the cushion to the boundary, and it just got way too handsy. Watch how much contact there is. Pushing. Yeah, it's a good call there.
This is a rangy specimen, isn't he? 6'7", 240. He can play receiver. They'll move him all around. Featured early. And he draws the penalty that gives him a first down at the 34. And breaking it off is Xavier Thomas. Receiver's got blazing speed. They're getting a little creative with the run game here. Lucas forced him out, but it's a first down near midfield.
I'm with you. You know, you have that motion. And last thing you're thinking about is he comes in motion. You think he might go around to the other side, but instead puts the brakes on, goes back the other way, picks up a block from the back there, Caleb Jackson. Whatever they can do. We just talked about how they're not getting the receivers the ball yet. That time they used him in the run game.
We've got a lot of talented receivers who can do a variety of things. A lot for Joe Sloan to deploy here. Another flag comes out. Bursting down the field is Caden Durham, but again, that flag right at the line of scrimmage. This one's going to come back, looks like. Illegal shift, I believe. These early penalties are piling up, and Kelly obviously
Offense,
frustrated.
Number 6. He went in motion from the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Negates a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, that's the Brian Brown, who's a very talented transfer portal from Kentucky. Brian Kelly communicating with him. That's a miscommunication with the receiver. You saw him start on the line of scrimmage, cannot go in motion. That whole play from the beginning, he looked very hesitant and unsure. Officials on top of it, pushes him back behind the sticks again.
Nussmeier making some adjustments, and for the second time in this first quarter, he didn't like the look, and he's going to spend a timeout.
Garrett Nussmeier is frustrated. You can see Brian Kelly. I think it's a lot of it with he's talking to the wide receiver coach right now. This has a lot to do with the receivers as a group. That's Cortez Hankton he's talking to about, hey guys, let's go. We got to all get on the same page.
And when the coach chews you out, the assistant coach gets wide eyes as he talks to his guys.
Yeah, he's talking to Chris Hilton right there, number 3. Again, this is a great group of receivers. You got a veteran quarterback. The expectation that this is going to be a fantastic passing game, and it will be. It's just they've not yet been able to find their rhythm on the road against this very talented and athletic Clemson defense. It's 2 timeouts that they've had to use because of crowd noise and 2 pre-snap penalties because of crowd noise. So the battle of Death Valley, you can see with Clemson the advantage they have when they play here, especially at night.
That's Guns N' Roses joining the crowd to make it really noisy here on 1st and 15. Durham in the pistol. Hilton comes across in motion. Durham makes a cut and bursts forward, picks up about 6. Sammy Brown made the stop.
You know, with the quarterback that's a veteran, you got good receivers, tight ends. You know, you got one that's a portal, the other guy that's been around. You got some new faces up front. And this is the beauty of playing a game like this. Instead of being at home playing McNeese State and having a chance to kind of work out the kinks here on national TV in one of the toughest environments in college football, it's not as easy as just show up and play. It takes time to build continuity and chemistry. This is part of that experience in a new season.
2nd and 9. Durham trying to get the edge, but the Tigers swarm him, stop him behind the line, and Sammy Brown has been active here in this first quarter. Very pass-heavy scheme so far. Kelly and Sloan featuring the run game in this first quarter.
They sure are, and it's not fooling Clemson at all. Watch the defensive line do their job. They're just going to eat up those linemen. See how 47 is free? Nobody's able to climb up to him. Sammy Brown says, hey, fellas, in film, I'm going to recognize the job that you're doing. You're freeing me up to roam and make a lot of tackles.
3rd and 9. Tigers bring the pressure. Nussmeier backpedals. It's a low throw. It's incomplete. Tried to get it to Aaron Anderson.
Terrell made the play to force the fumble. This time he does what he's known for, which is be able to play in great tight coverage. That's him in the slot. That's good against good. Aaron Anderson can separate, but that time with the pressure, Nussmeier's got to get rid of that ball, tries to go low and away, just not quite enough on it, but good tight coverage there by 8 in orange, Terrell.
These 2 highly touted and talented and experienced quarterbacks not having the start they envisioned. Nussmeier 4 of 6. Klubnik, in his part, 0 for 3 throwing the ball early stages. Chadwick boots it near the sideline, and it's going to go out of bounds. We'll spot the ball at about the 14-yard line, and that's where Clemson will take over, up 3-0. Well, this Labor Day college football weekend just rolls on. South Carolina hosting Virginia Tech in the afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And in prime time here on ABC, how about this one? Notre Dame and Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. Both those teams expect to be in the playoff bracket of 12. And then Monday night, you and Holly will join Reese down at Chapel Hill. Bill Belichick makes his Tar Heels debut hosting the Horned Frogs at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's 3 great games. Of course, Bill Belichick there to cap it off on Monday night. 5 straight days of college football. But I'll tell you that game, those 2 games on Sunday are fantastic. Shane Beamer going up against his old school, and of course his dad, who was a legend in Atlanta. And man, what a game. Miami and Notre Dame.
Meanwhile, Clemson back-to-back 3-and-outs, negative 10 yards total offense. And they hand the ball off to T.J. Moore. Runs around left end for about 5, brought down by Perkins.
Blake Baker is dialing up blitzes. He's blitzed 3 of the 4 times on these dropbacks, and he's been able to come up with a couple sacks. He is dialing it up. He warned us on our Zoom that get ready. It's going to be a different LSU defense this year with the pieces we have. On the inside, guys like Bernard Gooden, Dominique McKinley, and of course the 3 transfers on the edge, and we've seen that.
And now it's Clemson spending a timeout on offense.
Timeout. Clemson. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
You know, when you go to camp and you've got talented defenses in both these teams, you talked about the upgrades they made on that side of the ball. You kind of expect the defense, to be ahead of the offense, right? They know the scheme very well, and both these defenses have looked great in camp, and it's translated onto the field so far.
Yeah, I think defenses are typically ahead of offenses in college football. There's no preseason football. They're able to see the ball and fly to the ball. Offenses, it's timing, it's rhythm. It's kind of like pitchers being ahead of hitters early in baseball in April. So it's not necessarily surprising we see it, but this felt different because of the experience under center. Still a long way to go, but both these defensive coordinators have 2 really good defenses, and they're not afraid to take some chances and be aggressive.
Offenses haven't taken many chances yet. Not much aggressive play calling. Handoff, banging forward for a first down is Randall. It's hard to believe that a guy that had 4 carries last year could be a featured back at a place like Clemson. Maffa moves on. They didn't really have an established guy, and he looks the part as a running back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's 6'2", 235 pounds, has a great attitude about making the move late in his career. They say he's very natural as a ball carrier. Biggest thing you would expect he has to work on is just picking up the blitz and just getting comfortable coming out of the backfield, catching the football.
Very unselfish. Does whatever it takes to help the team. Klubnik on the move. It's complete across the middle. Another first down. That's Bryant Wesco, talented sophomore out of Texas. Tigers want to play with tempo here. They pick up 16 that time. Yeah,
it's a great job by Klubnik of showing some patience. He had his running back out in the flat, but waited to look backside to hit Wesco.
First completion for Cade. And now another one in the flat. Spun down at midfield is Tyler Brown. Marcus Cooley with the body slam.
Mixing up some tempos, just trying to get Cade into that zone. With a quarterback like this, with an offensive coordinator, with Garrett Riley, it's just a matter of time. One play can flip that switch and get them into that zone, and where they've become much more aggressive. Just trying to find that spot.
No.
A movement by the right tackle.
False
there.
Start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
As we've seen motion and shift just come up in college football, it seems like that's part of the cost of doing business, the pre-snap penalties like this.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you hit a first down, you got some momentum. A lot of times you want to try to crank up your tempo, and then once you slow it down, it's tough in those offensive linemen. They're sitting there in that stance. You see LSU, they're moving around. The secondary's coming down, showing blitzes. First game of the year, you get a little bit antsy, especially out there on the edge.
Klubnik on the move, flips it to the sidelines, and T.J. Moore makes the catch. Skips out of bounds in LSU territory, and it'll be a first down.
Yeah, the answer right now for Garrett Riley is utilizing the legs of Cade Klubnik, getting him off that zone read look, getting him outside away from the potential pressure, whether they bring blitz or it's just the talented edge pressure that LSU has. He's getting outside of that. He's dinking and dunking, but he's moving the sticks.
Two-back look here, Kirk. The first appearance for Gideon Davidson, number 9 to the left of Klubnik. Very highly touted back. Instead, he's a blocker for Keith Adams, who's stopped behind the line by Perkins. Davidson, part of that rotation. It's tough to trust a true freshman in a game like this, but we expect him to flash as the season unfolds big time.
Oh, yeah. They think he could be a Superman later in the year. Watch the very talented Harold Perkins here. Talk about flashing. The young back you just talked about, Davidson, didn't have any chance at all because of how quickly Peter Perkins closed on that play right there for a tackle for a loss in the backfield. Great play.
LSU has been consistently invading the backfield. Actually, both offenses have spent most of the night like behind the sticks, and now Clemson, just like LSU, has to spend a second timeout here in the first quarter to get things sorted out on offense.
Yeah, both offenses just out of sorts. I think I rather look at this and say it's good defense right now. You're looking at two defenses that are talented, got some experience, got some speed, and have two really aggressive, talented defensive coordinators. And right now they have had the upper hand in this first quarter.
Holly, a pretty good start for Perkins so far.
Yeah, you can see Clemson really working hard to identify where he's lining up. On that last great play he just made, he was on the right side. A couple of plays before, he was over on the left side. I saw the right tackle signal. There's Perkins, there's Perkins. They didn't have anybody to account for him, so they took that timeout. When they came out of the timeout, they had a tight end lined up on that side. So they are taking a lot of care and attention to see where Perkins is lined up and making those adjustments.
Perkins wears that coveted number 7, as Patrick Peterson had done. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, I was told he was going to be here tonight. And Perkins carrying on that legacy. 2nd and 12 off the timeout. It's incomplete. Trying to come in and make a screen behind the line was Brown, but he dropped it.
Yeah, that's sometimes when you ball's behind you a bit, your eyes are peeking ahead to the defense flowing. That ball just didn't really. That ball has to be out in front to give Brown a chance. By the way, it's great to see Brown back from an injury. Missed all last year. Had a huge freshman year back in 23. Good to see him back to give him depth to this great group of receivers they have.
Another 3rd and long. Neither team has converted on 3rd down yet. Both 0 for 2 because there's been a lot of downs like this. They need 12. LSU will bring some pressure. It's picked up quickly. Klubnik can scramble, takes off, dives down, but well short of the first down at the LSU 43. Gilbert got him down.
Gilbert did a nice job at chasing him down. Cade Klubnik can go, and he gets outside of the pocket and got away from the pressure. Kind of in that gray area there where, you know, you're not really in field goal range. And with the way this game is going, it's becoming, even though it's only the first quarter, becoming kind of a field position game. But they are, wow.
Yeah,
I thought they might punt this. They're going 62-yarder.
Hoosier, the play clock's winding down here. Remember, he was good from 56.
Maybe a push punt?
Beat SMU. He's capable of doing that as well. Yeah, good call, Kirk. Direct snap, but he just kind of rolls the pooch punt. Nobody back there to field it. And he's going to roll dead about the 16. He got it there from 56, but 62? Take a look at 2. Bringing the heat. Brought to you by Sonic Smasher.
Yeah, if you've missed the first part of this game, it's been great defense. LSU has tried to come up with some answers, but boy, Clemson, that was a 3rd and 11 flying around. Here's a forced fumble. Really good job by Terrell, who's a cover guy, but shows you how physical he can be with the defensive line doing their job in a run game. It's freed up Sammy Brown, who had a monster freshman year. It's a good job of flowing. Tom Allen has his defense flying around in his first year as defensive coordinator. Looking good.
Just 23 passing yards for this touted passing game from LSU. Fake it to Durham. Slant. Catch made by Aaron Anderson. Began his career at Alabama. Big year last year. Moves the 6.
Boy, he had a great move at the line of scrimmage to create that separation, then protected himself because the ball got out early enough before the safety came down. Watch him at the line of scrimmage to your right. Ooh, little outside move. Look at that separation. It's the first catch by a wide receiver in this football game for Garrett Nussmeier. We're almost here at the end of the first quarter.
Very tough matchup out of the slot. 5'8", as you saw, very quick. Clock winding down. They did not get it off before the end of the first quarter. So a turnover, the difference. Fumble forced by Terrell, returned by Jones, and then a field goal. Defense ruling right now. End of the